Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scene for Edessa, the Dark Crusade, Season 2, as we are joined in the eerily quiet stables of the Malkavian, known as Garnet. The horses have been padded along, and everything is quiet. The occasional sounds of a harp pluck idly at the strings, as one of the horses, red in colour, pads around the paddock. Garnet himself wipes some of the blood out of his eyes, letting it, staring down at it, letting liquid touch his hands. He stares at the horse canter along. It seems to be making good progress. He twists his head and smiles at it. It's a good horse. So obedient. So progressive. He'll just lean against it, his slim frame leaning against the wood, just watching. Undisturbed, and as Irene does approach, she'll be let in quite easily. All she has to do is just ask for Garnet, and she's immediately led to where she can see the Malkavian staring out at the horse, flicking something, a piece of liquid in his hands that almost seems to trace along his fingertips.
Yeah, Irene will almost silently approach, and as usual does the curtsy, and she won't like address him or anything. After all, he's an Ancilla, and she's definitely not. So she'll just wait until he has time to notice her and to address her, which are definitely two separate steps in the process of greeting.
He'll look over at her, again, keeping his hand kind of tracing it like the balls, like the tips of his fingers touching against his thumb, and smile at her. Irene.
Sir Garnet,
And how are you this evening?
I am quite well. And yourself?
Things could always be better, but horse does seem to be coming along just nicely.
Her eyes kind of glide over to the horse. And she nods, even though, like, she has no idea what and how that stuff works. But yeah, she'll take a few steps closer.
I'm glad to see that you are safe. After all, with all the tragedy that struck the city, I had feared seeing Madeleine so panicked. I feared that the worst would have happened.
Quite a lot has happened, indeed. I wonder, were you at the palace?
I
Were you
was.
one of the witnesses?
I did not
So,
witness the deed itself, but I had to make a quick exit along with the Merchant of Bones and Gerard. The last time I saw the prince, he was being pushed through a wall.
sad times, indeed.
Mm, it is.
This almost feels like a silence before the storm.
No, this is merely the aftermath. The
Mm.
entire, the entire thing was led up to one little act, but the six will keep moving. After all, painting hasn't finished yet.
The six, you say?
Mm. They seem so dedicated.
Who is the sixth?
We look over and smile. Have you seen them yet?
I have seen 5.
Oh. 5, you say? Smile, big and warm.
Yes.
Well then, it appears you're seeing close to what some of us have been seeing.
Will you tell me what you've seen?
Depends.
On.
You.
What is it that you wish?
What are you willing to give to see the things I've seen? What are you willing to tell me? All depends on you. I'm making no offer of a boon. No, doesn't interest me. More curious what you will offer me.
As a fledgling, I have little to offer.
True,
Everything I have is owned by someone.
true. But I'm still curious of what you'll offer.
A comparison, perhaps.
Hmm. Little smile over at her. True. But then again, can you see as much as we can? I wonder. But yet I don't hear your song in the great thread.
Perhaps the way I see is different than yours. Perhaps I see less, perhaps I see different, perhaps in a different direction. I'm willing to share with you the visions regarding these individuals that I've had so far. That way you would know.
Did it tell you he was going to die when you heard it? Tomorrow, tomorrow.
Everyone heard that.
Mm,
Did you not know?
I did. Did you see the woman in the painting?
I did.
Mm, I assume you saw your sire's throne.
I'm gonna make an appearance subterfuge, or, well, fuck it. I'll make a manipulation subterfuge there. Only 2 successes.
Bloody thing will work now. There you go. See what Aaron sees. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You see the look of surprise on Irene's face.
Ah, you didn't see, did you? Hmm.
Sire's throne. What's with it?
Huh. Struggling against a rat's tail attempting to reach the sky. From what I can tell, seemed like an origin. Even Madeleine was there. Torch handed to her.
What did she do with it?
Held it for a while, and then passed it to the prince and his little lackeys, with black webs ebbing out from them. Did you see the charred woman?
I am not sure.
Mm,
Could be. Did you see the tentacles?
Oh, I did.
Tentacles.
Far more than just tentacles.
Did it look back at you?
No, the woman did. In the painting.
Yes, with the silver hair. She saw.
Yeah, she
Better.
seemed quite. She seemed quite excited I was there.
And she might be of your clan.
Maybe.
She did not show the same reaction, but she did notice me.
Hmm. She wanted me
Black
to.
mass. Hmm?
She wanted me to see.
Showed you the painting.
She did. It was quite beautiful. And the blackness saw you.
As did the paintress.
Mm, interesting. Did you see 5 hands and one tendril?
Yes,
Mm,
surrounding a glass orb.
nod slowly. It explains why there is someone wandering around the Cappadocian libraries.
Oh,
You just have to look, and you'll find it. You just have to make sure you look in the right place, is all.
hmm.
And if yeah, I'm going to give the siren for free. Out of the corner of Garnet's eye, you'll see a little small red line appear under his eye and just slowly trickle down the side of his face.
Did something happen?
Hmm?
As Irene looks more worried.
He'll look over. Hmm?
You're crying.
Oh. He'll smile, reach into his robes and dab a cloth just very smoothly. No. No, nothing happened. Just the song keeps playing, and sometimes even the body reacts.
What did you see on the painting?
What did you see?
I saw something that I saw before. The attack on the palace.
Mm. Did you hear them?
Hear them?
Speaking.
I did not.
We met two of them there.
Yes.
A tactician, so proud, powerful.
And the
Mm.
wishing woman.
Nods. But where are the others, I wonder?
The animal.
Yes, that was there. The monstrous thing that it was.
Did you see a boy?
Frown. No.
Ah,
Where I went was a different way to others. I saw Aldrich and Madeleine dive down. I saw Johanna being brought down by something,
Yes.
but I didn't see them after that. And with what I can tell from darling Johanna, she's all but left.
What?
And that's not what. Have you not heard the rumors?
I I have been in Timaran a lot these days and nights.
You'll find the ruin of her home, and from all the gossip and talk she has left or vanished, never to be seen again. Mm, such a curious thing.
I see.
You look over at her. Does that bother you?
She has 2 successes to keep a stone face.
Jesus. 2, 3.
She will not say anything, but to your question, there's like, yes, it does bother her.
Hmm. Why?
He was a friend. She still is.
But she left and didn't even tell you.
It's not the first time, nor will it be the last, that people leave without us knowing.
Has it happened before to you?
I do not think it's of your concern.
Merely curious.
As I said, it has happened before, it will happen again.
And why are you so afraid of me knowing? That's the next question, I wonder. Little Irene.
I am not. The whole city knows. There's no
The whole,
shame for me in it.
the whole city knows. He'll smile. Hmm. It
It's
appears,
funny.
appears I've been lazy in knowing things. You grin.
Perhaps
What,
so.
what does the whole city know that I don't know?
There once was a lady of my clan. She had a child. She left. She abandoned the child.
Ah, was that you, little Irene? I see. He just nod to himself.
I am sure that you've heard that I am but the adoptive child of Prince Ulrich.
I've heard it mentioned. I was curious. I thought perhaps something had happened, but I didn't wish to make assumptions without you telling me. It would be impolite.
It is impossible to keep it a secret.
Hmm. Hmm. And it seems that you have come out the better for it. The adoptive sire of the child, the Prince of Timuran, I would say that you earned your fortune quite quickly.
I was lucky.
Hmm. Very. But yet I sense an edge of bitterness there.
Do not be.
I don't know. I don't know the woman. But if she's anything like I think she was, and perhaps bitterness would streak across me. After all, I do understand the hatred of one's creator all too well.
She was beautiful in many ways.
Hmm, I imagine she was. They always are the ones that rip it right out from us.
I'm sure she must have had her reasons.
Hmm. Who knows? Maybe you should ask her one day. Or maybe we'll grin. Maybe you should just do what I've done and spite her entire plan and spite her entire reasoning. That does always seem to be the most satisfactory gain.
Perhaps I am not out for revenge.
Oh, it's not about vengeance. That's boring. If you were out for vengeance, you would have tried to take it already. This is about you and what you want to become.
I am not standing in her shadow.
No. But you're afraid to, aren't you?
Afraid to?
You're afraid that one day it'll all come back. And that you won't know what to do. Because part of you will still have that attachment. But the other part of you will resent everything.
Perhaps our paths will cross one day. There are many more direct things to worry about than the return of a lost sire.
But it does tell me a lot about you, though, and the way you talk.
Oh, really?
Mm. It's always interesting to see another person who shares similar things about a lost sire.
Then how did you survive? How did you deal with it?
She never even realized until it was far too late to stop me. And I took her little precious jewel with me and left her there. And she always thought she was the one in control. I just became something more. I took control. And the look on her face when she realized far too late. I'll never forget it.
Quite interesting.
Mm, it is. Hmm. She's still alive somewhere in France, amassing all her ideals of power that she thinks she has. But she'll never be quite the same. Ah,
Will you be?
I was never the same from the moment I was made.
Still, as you said, a sire can do a lot.
It can. Once there was a young boy, scared and frightened. Now, He died a long time ago.
You have lived many more years than I have.
He died a lot quicker than a person who's lived as long as me. It was the first time he'll walk over very slowly. We'll stand beside Irene. Won't be like in her face or anything. He'll stand beside her and examine her and twist her head. It was the first time that she tried putting the shackles on. But the boy died. Did they try to do that to you?
No. As I said, up until this day, I still hold respect for my sire, even though I have been sad many days when I realized she left.
And you are a very, very lucky girl, Irene. Either that, you still quite haven't realized it yet.
It's Sir Garnet.
That respect and that sadness you felt. It's always going to be there unless you choose to get rid of it. You haven't quite realized the change they leave behind. But you are young, so I don't expect it just yet.
I agree with you. It would be difficult to see her again if the future would allow it.
Thank you for telling me.
But it will not take me from my goals. It will not make me want to speed up towards that point in time where we might meet or slow down. I will continue to do what I feel I need to do. And if that brings me along her path, then so shall it be. And I will deal with it then and there.
Mm. He'll smile. Mm. I suspect. With a smile to himself. If you're as fierce as this now, I can only imagine what you'd be like if it's a few years down the line.
I can assure you I am not that fierce. I'm no warrior.
Oh, I see. Well, forgive me. You did come across quite fierce in your tone. It's the way your eyes blaze. I didn't think you needed to be a warrior to have a strong constitution.
Well, I will take this compliment. Thank you.
You smile. The horse reminds me of you. It is proud. It's an interesting animal. This one in particular. You look over at it. You don't break it. You let it grow and see what comes out afterwards.
Some of us are meant to be broken.
Oh,
And some of us break in different ways.
Mm. Do the nightmares still haunt you?
They do,
Mm.
occasionally.
Why do you fear them so much?
Because, like you, I prefer to be in control of myself.
Hmm. You think I like control? Interesting. You say with a smile.
You like contradiction, I think. Chaos and control. As long as there's a lot of chaos, but you be the one causing it, it will be you who can take control of the chaos.
My, Irene. You give a grin. How did you glean all this from me?
The way you talked about dealing with your sire showed your need for control. You spoke earlier of the chaos in our previous meeting.
Hmm. You smile at her. Seems the little bird has been watching, learning. And what would you do with a man like me, then?
Nothing.
Mm.
I cannot reign you. And anyone who tries will try to take control out of your own hands will most likely fail.
Few are trying. None have succeeded. True. So what would you do, then, Lady Irene, if you wish not to control, but how would you handle a man like me who likes order in the chaos of it all?
It depends on what I would want for you.
Mm. And what do you want with a man like me, then?
Quite frankly, I do not know. I enjoy this conversation, and it is interesting to see how our visions, our sights, differs. I am looking for information, so that might be what I want from you.
I see. And what happens if I've already given the information, but you just haven't realized it yet?
That means you are in control.
Or you haven't asked the right question yet, little Irene?
Perhaps indeed. But I will not ask you to show me this chaos in your head. I am not born as one of your clan. You have a certain way of dealing with things that I cannot.
Are you afraid of that?
As I said before, I too like to be in control of at least myself. There's little else that I have control over, which I will make a troll about because it's not technically true. Hmm. Okay, I mean, she feels that, yeah, like I said, it's not exactly true what she says. She has more control over other things, but it is still important to her, so.
You smile a bit at her, teasingly. And is that why you fear us Malkavians, then? Because
Yes,
we don't have the illusion of control of ourselves?
I fear you for being able to take that control away.
Do you think we would do that to you?
I consider it an option, yes.
And what do you know of Clan Malkavian and the things we can do to take the control away, according to you?
Very little, I will admit.
Mm.
I just know that you are good with tricks of the mind slipping in through the cracks.
The
I don't
cracks,
know.
the cracks
What
were already there to begin with, Irene. You just have to see them.
the mind of a Malkavian and mind of a Sombra. Two very different ideals of two very different clans.
Hmm.
Even if I wish, I simply cannot allow myself to appear crackled.
And that's the beauty of it, Irene. Hmm. The beauty that so many don't understand. Crackled and broken and whole. But yet we Malkavians are still the ones that are in the center of it all. Broken and beautiful. We'll still keep going. Most people think madness is the end. It's really only the beginning. I say with a little smile across his face. Sometimes embracing chaos and what it truly is, whether it's madness or whether it's whatever you deem it to be. Sometimes accepting what it is and dipping your hands in will surprise what you come out again. But so often the somber do seem to cling onto the notions of, well, power at least. A wink.
Dipping your hands in, or getting pulled under and drowning. I think anyone who's chosen, who has been chosen to be a Malkavian, I can imagine that they must have had beautiful minds to begin with, and not necessarily in a conventional way.
It was always about choice. That's something you're going to have to understand as well, whether you're a Malkavian or not.
Choice,
Yes, you've chosen things. You've made the decision.
of
You,
course.
but you don't quite understand it until down the line when the ripples are finally at your feet. Yet, for us, we see it all and then see it coming back right in front of us all over again so quickly that it's like shard amongst a never ending broken mirror. But I told you this the first time I talked to you. The choice is yours what you pick. And I
Fair.
think, but how can you make the choice when you only know one side of the board instead of all sides?
Isn't that part of the challenge? Part of the
Hmm,
adventure?
it can and it can be. Or are you just the blind leading the blind, hoping you're chasing the right way, rather than opening your eyes and seeing what was really there the whole time? Because if you had a chance just to see one glimpse, wouldn't you take it? Even if it was for a brief moment.
It would depend on the price.
Hmm, a good answer. Most don't think of the price. And what price is too steep for you, Lady Irene?
There are many prices too steep, as there are many prices to offer.
Hmm, but what's one that really frightens you?
Why do you want to know?
I'm curious. We're having a good conversation. It's always curious to see what people are willing to tell about themselves.
That is fair. I would not murder. I would not destroy an innocent life for it. I would not serve a demon for it.
Hmm,
These are a few options.
murder. Just nod. I could understand that, seeing as our sires did kill us. I can understand your reasoning. And kill us they very much did. Hmm. And you would not murder anyone, or just an innocent.
If I would murder anyone, I would murder my own innocence. But
Really?
that is already too late.
You are still so innocent, though, Lady Irene. I can see it in your eyes.
Perhaps so.
It's the soft look you give. Nothing bad, but so very human.
Some would see that as weakness.
Depends on that somebody. Sometimes humanity does have its benefits. Depends on what you want to achieve. But do you truly understand humanity? That is the question that I
Hmm.
wonder. And I don't think you do, not in the way you think.
I doubt anyone truly would. They are as diverse as we are.
You'd be surprised.
Hmm.
You would be surprised at some of us that repeat the exact same things again and again. And you'd be surprised what humans mimic that. Because you haven't experienced all of humanity. Not yet.
Of course not.
It's easy. You just have to be willing to see the things that part of you does not want to see.
Like what?
Humanity, for all its beauties, for all its faith, humanity is violent, greed, jealousy, pride. All the sins that it loves to profess are all there, right in front of you. Yet, there are vague ideas of them. But we have the advantage to see them at their truest form. And to truly see them all is to truly understand what is to be human, both the good and the bad. Because how can you make a judgment if you've only just chosen to see one and not the other? Have you ever seen it?
The complete range of humanity, I have not.
But would you like to?
Hmm. What would it give me, besides understanding, as you so say?
What would I give you?
It give you.
Understanding. Hmm. A choice. The true choice.
What is the true choice?
Ah, can't tell you that. Not until you've seen it. Because then you'll have already got in your head of what you want the choice to be. And then you're not making it anymore.
Fair. Why, if I may ask, you seem determined to offer me this, your sight. Why?
I believe that someone like you should reach the potential they want to reach, but do it in a way that is true to them, not what everyone wants them to be, what they choose to be. And sometimes that is an extend of a hand, a push, or just an offer. I mean, no nefarious scheme, merely wishing to help a young one of us understand, make the decision for herself rather than what everyone else wants her to make. I think that's a much more fairer option to you than what everyone else wants you to be. But then again, I am old-fashioned. You'll smile. It's
I doubt that.
probably why my sire disliked me so much. You give a little sly grin.
I doubt that you are old-fashioned as much as I doubt, in all honesty, your intentions. You're looking to create chaos. Always.
Really, really. And how would I create chaos by offering you a choice to make for yourself?
Because you and I both know that it would do something to my mind. And within the La Sombra, that might cause a problem.
I see. Cause a problem for you understanding what it means to be one of us. Making that choice yourself to be a stronger person because of it. Anything makes you a better La Sombra in my mind. But I suppose if that's chaotic, well then I'll be willingly chaotic. You smile.
She'll return the smile.
But like I said, the choice is yours. If you say no, I won't be angry. But I think it would be unfair on you if I did not offer it. Because I believe that all of us deserve that choice and deserve that chance to see it all. So when we make it, we are who we are at the end of it, not what they want you to be. Most don't get that choice.
I do understand what it is that you want for me to experience. I am not quite sure if your way would be my way of experiencing it, but I understand the gesture behind it. And I do thank you for it. At this point, I am still not officially a neonate. And making this choice would definitely reflect on my sire.
And what do you think I'm offering you that would reflect so poorly on your sire?
As I said, I am not sure, but the way it sounds, it has something to do with my mind.
No, Irene. No. I'm not going to touch your mind in the slightest. Because that is. Shake his head. That is something someone who is looking to manipulate would do. No. I'm merely just going to show you them. You gesture out to the city. For you to see, for you to understand, for you to watch.
How?
It's very simple. One of the key things we do is the blood. One of the key things. You know how to ghoul someone, yes?
Yes.
You know how to give them what they want in order for them to do what they need to do for you, yes?
Yes.
What happens when you take that away?
Are you talking about the craving that I feel?
Have you seen it?
No.
What happens when you take away the one thing that person wants the most? What do you think happens to that person?
That depends on the person.
It does. But one thing remains true. They will do anything to get it again. Anything. And that is where, in there, you'll point at her chest, is waiting. Because watching them turn is like watching the thing that's inside you. It festers and hungers and calls. And sometimes it is better to see one and understand it. So when it does call, you'll know the sound and how to better. I wouldn't say resist, but understand what it is to not let it control you. Because now you've seen humanity as what we are and what we'd like to present, and what's underneath it all. It's no trick of the mind. It's merely seeing what others choose to blindly ignore.
like the hunters.
A nod.
Their idealism is so flawed.
People who cling on to faith as readily as they do choose to ignore the things that they themselves feel because they can't accept what it is. For if they were truly faith in all things, they would understand how flawed they really are and how they were made that way.
Her hand will reach up to the crucifix that she's carrying. Yet their belief is strong.
Of course, because they themselves will never ever admit, ever, that they are just as cruel and just as spiteful as the ones they claim to hunt.
Apparently, their leader does, in a way. He
Hmm.
has no problems becoming a monster to kill monsters.
Ah, and there it is, for the greater good. Oh, I do love when they use that logic.
Hmm.
So ironic. To save others, but they can't save themselves. Poor things. To live in such self denial is not something that you hate, it's something that you pity. And yet, what would you choose? Would you choose to see something that way? And see what they'd all look like underneath it all? To understand what you yourself look like underneath it all? Or would you choose to close your eyes?
It sounds almost like an ultimatum.
Hmm.
Either this or that. I don't
Isn't
think there are just two options.
well, that's the next lesson if you choose to accept this one. But you have to understand the fundamentals first before you can start really thinking.
There are still many things I need to learn. Why is this lesson so important to me,
Because
according to you?
it's important for everyone to learn. Everyone. To understand what temptation truly is and the call. I think it's a valuable lesson that most neonates often overlook until it's far too late. Have you
I've
killed
seen temptation.
have you killed anyone?
There has been temptation in my mind.
Really?
Call to have everything I ever wanted and all the power I ever dreamt of. Yes.
Power. Huh. No. You've not seen real temptation just yet, little Irene. For what is power?
The way I see it or the way the world sees it.
What do you think power is?
The ability to choose for yourself.
Hmm. And that's the exact thing I'm offering you.
And what is the price?
The price is what you see.
But
Price
that
is, of
still change me.
course, it will. Once you open your eyes, you can't quite close them again.
Hmm.
Nothing bad will happen, but you will have to feed them, and then take it away and watch.
I have to
And once you,
feed what?
well, if you want to experience and see a person truly turn into an animal, and truly turn into the thing that lurks inside all of us, you have to give them just a taste. Take the taste away, and watch as the thing they want turns them into something else. Obsession.
So you are saying that I would need to destroy someone?
Destroy them and then rebuild them. Or just destroy them. It's up to you what you do. But you first have to break them down. Strip away the layers, the lies, the comforts, the truths. And look at them for what they really are. And that will change you. It won't be some trick or some discipline. It'll be yourself that you see and understand and grow.
Hmm. Your offer is fascinating, but the idea of having to destroy someone for my own benefits
Is frightening.
is distasteful in my mind.
Of course. I didn't say the task would be easy. You're not supposed to take pleasure in it. Because if you do, well, that is a far different thing. But you're not meant to enjoy it. It's not meant to be something that's tasteful. You're just meant to understand. I didn't enjoy it the first time. I didn't enjoy it at all.
And why would you do it?
Because I had to make the choice for myself.
Why do you have to make the choice?
Because otherwise, I would have been lying just like everybody else with my eyes closed. Never been able to see. And the choice and my life would have already been chosen for me, no matter how much I tried to tell myself otherwise.
And who taught you this?
I learned it from watching everyone else. I learned it from watching how people interact with each other. I learned it just from watching what happens. I learned it from just staring. This isn't some Malkavian curse. Everyone does it, from Madeleine to your sire to you or me. In fact, this is the most common thing Canaanite do.
I agree.
You stare at her, watching.
She seems to be rather deep in thought.
You agree.
Yes.
Hmm.
Canaanites are always manipulating, influencing. Even I do it. And it is in a way distasteful.
So would you rather not understand what you truly are than pretend? That way, you're completely free of the choice. And that distaste will always be there. But this time you can understand why it's there and make the decision you need.
I'm not sure.
Hmm. I'd be
She said,
surprised. I'd be surprised if you gave me a no, yes or no answer. Yes or no answer.
why?
Because that would mean you hadn't thought about it properly. And you were just blindly charging, hoping you got the right one. And I think you're much smarter than that.
I do not think anyone has ever credited me for being smart.
Well, I'm glad to be the first at least.
I will give your words more thought. I agree that there is an intriguing taste to it. But I am not sure if I would be willing to sacrifice someone else.
Mm. Mm.
There's always another way. Always another way of learning. Perhaps I'm simply meant to find another way.
Or perhaps you're just too afraid to take that step. But we'll see.
Perhaps indeed. I am not God. I cannot look down on others and see what hides inside their hearts that even they cannot see.
Hmm. You think that requires you to be a god to do that? Interesting. Hmm. May I be so bold, Irene? They extend his hand slowly towards her hair.
She'll nod.
He'll brush it back very gently out of her face, like even touching some of the locks. soft. Like slowly withdraws his hand back.
You almost sound disappointed.
No. I'm surprised at how soft it is.
There are many who would say that it is a sign of weakness.
Why would it be weak to have hair like that?
To come across as soft, especially in a canine society, but also in the mortal world, it often means weak.
Hmm. And you think just because your hair and your skin is soft and that smile is so gentle, and those eyes so soft and calm, is a weakness. Hmm. Then I really do pity the people who told you that.
I did not say that I considered it a weakness.
Good. I was about to say,
I am young, I am inexperienced, and in many ways, I am probably naive. But I do not consider myself particularly weak.
I imagine you don't.
Oh, I have no doubt that you could crush my mind. I have no doubt that a Bruja could crush my body, and a Ravnos could crush my spirit. Even my own clan could probably do all those three things. As said, I am young, I have much to learn.
Hmm. May I see your hand?
She'll stick out her hand, palm up.
He'll take it very softly in his own. My mother used to do this when I was very young. She would tell you all the things she could see. Everyone used to get so excited. The young men used to panic because they would see lines that would mean they would grow old and bald and fat. And the young women used to panic when they saw apparently grey hair on the lines of their palms. I used to watch her do it every day. Hmm. I wonder, what do I see when I look at your hand? I wonder, Irene.
I have not seen myself in any of my dreams, whether I was awake or not.
Hmm.
So I could not tell.
What do you hope to see yourself as?
Hopes. I am not sure if hopes would ever need to be said out loud. Hope is like crystal. Once you speak it, it shatters. Because you
Oh,
made it reality, in a way.
oh, Irene. He'll trace his hand along her palm very delicately. Oh, that's why. I often find hope when you can share it. The most intimate thing you can share with someone. That they never even realize that they've shared. You'll smile.
Then let me say this, the only hope that I have is that I will matter.
To whom, I wonder?
To whom not?
Well, do you wish to matter to yourself? To others? To your sire? To your clan? To people? That's the question.
I believe as long as there is even one person that speaks your name fondly, if you are no longer there, and you have achieved something.
Interesting. I don't know it will trace for hand. I wonder. You'll just let go of it very delicately.
She, she'll kind of like let it fall on the other hand in front of her. Almost like, the praying uh, way you kind of like put your hands when in prayer. I realized that that might be, as I said before, very naive. But that is a true hope of mine.
He'll reach up again and touch her hair unless she stops him.
No, she won't.
Well, thank you for telling me.
I don't seek personal glory. I don't want to be the strongest or the smartest. I don't want to be the wisest. I don't want to have all the money in the world or all the power. But if people remember me fondly, if I've done something that will make someone smile, and
Now, and there is why I offer you the choice.
I already make that choice.
You're so close. And if only you knew how close you are, you'd be almost giddy. You'd smile very, not kind of broadly.
Perhaps so. As I said before, at this point I do not think that I could make a choice. And I hope you do forgive me for that.
Hmm. At least you'll think about it.
I will.
I'm curious though, you never asked to look at my hand.
Hmm. Is there something to see there?
Pens, do you want to see?
You always ask that.
You always want to know if there's something there.
I guess both of us like to be in control.
It's not a bad thing.
It is not.
But all you have to do is ask.
I figured if you'd wish to show me, you would.
I was waiting to see what you like to see. He'll slowly extend his hand.
Yeah, she'll take it.
Very smooth crease. There's a few lines in there and all that, but it's just very smooth looking. And what do you see then, Lady Irene?
She'll, like, basically do the same as he did before and starts tracing the lines in the outline of his hand with her fingers. As smooth as your words. Only a few cracks. Surprising for someone who works in stables.
That's probably why they used to always love my horses.
Perhaps indeed.
Were you expecting more cracks?
Hmm. I do not know. No. You hide your cracks except the ones that you want for others to see. Which only makes sense. This is what we all do.
But which ones am I hiding?
I do not presume to know.
You've seen them all, but you don't know which is which just yet.
Perhaps so. We have not talked often.
A shame. I got the impression you were too fearful of me to talk.
I was. I still am.
Still frightened of a Malkavian.
It is not something that goes away easily. It takes time. Like many things.
Hmm.
I'm not afraid to come here. There was no dire need for me to be here like the last time. And it was not an accidental run-in like the first time. Consider me a fledgling that is growing.
And I wonder the next time will you come just because you want to?
It's her turn to smile. Who knows?
I'll be most intrigued to see.
Only time can tell.
Just nod, smiling.
Unless, of course, someone else shows it first.
I wouldn't say no to you coming over, Irene, to see me.
Truly.
Why would I?
Indeed.
Do you read?
Of course.
Nod and smile. And you like poetry?
Yes, I do.
I love poetry. Do you play? Or do you just sing?
I sing.
Not, I play.
I see. Perhaps if this city ever has the stability again to bring forth an Elysium, we could join forces.
Perhaps you could come over and see how well we would fare before the Elysium.
That
Might
would be wise.
He'll smile back. But like I said, I would not say no to you coming over of your own free will, whenever you feel like. I'll be quite honored.
I have no doubt you would.
And not because you're the child of the Prince of Timoran.
She actually chuckles at that.
You smile. I enjoy your company.
Thank you, Sir Garnet. That is indeed an honor.
Perhaps next time you should bring some poetry. I'll bring my own.
I have never written my own poetry,
Bring
but
the
I
one
can.
bring the ones you like to read.
I will do my best to find them.
You smile. Well then, until then, Lady Irene.
Till then, Sir Garnet.
You just smile and give her a very formal bow, like very, very professional. But when he looks up at her, there'll be that kind of devilish little smirk on his face.
Oh, she returns the bow with again that curtsy, and yeah, it's very gracefully executed. I'm not gonna fucking roll for it, but I think it's 4, bitch.
His is more. His is definitely. It's very like highly maintained, but there is that edge of playfulness to it. You know, he seems to skip as he's doing it. Hmm. Wow. I trust you have important business, and not
I,
just waste time with a charmer like me.
I trust you have important business as well, and not a lot of time to idly chat with such a young person as myself.
You'd be surprised how much time that I would like to spend chatting to someone who is engaging to chat to. Lady Irene.
You flatter me again and again. I would blush.
Hmm. It's not flattery if one is speaking the truth to somebody. As he's turning to put his hands behind his back.
Until next time, then, Sir Garnet.
Hmm. Until next time, little Irene. He seems to just whistle as he's walking back towards the horse.
Yeah, she'll she'll leave the stables.
Yeah, that's
Hmm?
probably the best place to end that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Play, for playing. Thank you, Watchers, for watching. This was another scene for Edessa the Dark Crusade.